morning, everyone, and welcome to Carnival Radio Breakfast Show. This is a beautiful morning. This is a newspaper review on your Enjoyment Unlimited station. My name is Ibrahim Adebayo. This morning, we begin the newspaper review with the headlines in the newspaper. Federal government plans 13 trillion naira loan as Tinubu presents 49.7 trillion naira 2025 budget. Federal government plans to improve power supply with $750 million World Bank loan. Landing cost of petrol drops to 970 naira per litre, says marketers. Ibadan phone fear tragedy. Oni ex-wife orders face probe as 32 children feared dead. Ensure passport issuance within 6 weeks. Court orders Interior Minister. NIS, Nigerian Immigration Service. Now the news in detail. Landing cost of petrol drops to naira 70 naira per litre, says marketers. In a sign of stability in the downstream sector, the Major Energy Marketers Association of Nigeria, MEMAN, has said that the landing cost of premium motor spirits, PMS, also known as petrol, declined marginally to naira 70 naira in December 2024 from 971 naira per litre in November same year. This comes against the backdrop of a similar drop in crude oil price to $73.77 per barrel yesterday from $74 per barrel last week. However, in its daily energy bulletin obtained by newsmen, Meman said that the latest landing cost was based on 1,533 US dollar and $73 per barrel of crude oil. However, it also stated that the international petroleum product pricing is experiencing significant volatility due to geopolitical and economic factors, including events in the Middle East, China market dynamics, and the markets of the recent U.S. election outcome. However, the retail price of petrol remained unchanged at 1,025 naira per litre in Lagos. The chairman of the Oyo State chapter of the association, Ime John, said the price of petrol is determined by the market forces under the deregulated market regime. A drop in price is possible. Similarly, the chief executive officer of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, CPPE, Dr. Muda Yusuf, had also said the price of petrol cannot just drop spontaneously as marketers have larger stock. Until it's finished, there will be no reduction. For more details on the news, you can visit the Vanguard newspaper. Landing cost of petrol drops to 970 naira per litre, says marketers. Ensure passport issuance within 6 weeks. Court orders Interior Ministers. NIS, Nigerian Immigration Service. A federal high court in Abuja has ordered Interior Minister Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo and the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, to always ensure that applicants who meet all the requirements to get international passports get them within 6 weeks. The court said This delivery period is achievable because it is in line with Section 9, Subsection 4 of the Immigration Act 2015. Justice Emeka Nweti issued the order in a judgment he delivered on the fundamental rights enforcement suit filed by the aggrieved Nigerians Benita Ngozi Ezumezu against the NIS and the minister listed as respondent. Ezumezu claimed to have applied for the Nigerian international passport and met all the requirements as at October 6, 2022, but claimed that the Nigerian Immigration Service failed to issue her passport 14 weeks after submitting an application. In the judgment delivered on December 4, Justice Nweti rejected the respondent's argument, upheld the applicant's claim, and granted all the relief the applicant sought. Justice Nweti, who awarded 3 million naira damages against the respondents and in favor of the applicants, declared that as at October 6, 2022, Ezumezu had fulfilled all the requirements and was qualified to be issued passports within 6 weeks. The judge also declared that the respondent's failure to issue the applicant an international passport 14 weeks after meeting all the requirements violated Section 9, Subsection 4 of the Nigerian Immigration Act 2015 and the applicant's right to freedom of movement. For more details on the news, you can visit The Nation newspaper. Ensure passport issuance within 6 weeks. Court orders Interior Minister and NIS, Nigerian Immigration Service. Federal government plans 13 trillion naira loan as Tinubu presents 49.7 trillion naira 2025 budget. President Bola Tinubu government is planning to spend 8.9 trillion of its projected 49.7 budget on defense and security infrastructure in 2025. Tinubu yesterday presented the 2025 budget proposal to a joint session of the National Assembly, outlining an ambitious 49.7 trillion naira spending plan titled Budget of Restoration, Securing Peace, Rebuilding Prosperity. The budget prioritizes defense infrastructure and human capital development, with projected deficits of 13.39 trillion to be financed through borrowing. Speaking at the National Assembly, Tinubu stressed his administration commitment to strengthening security and revamping the nation's infrastructure. Defense and security were allocated 4.9 trillion naira, while infrastructure will receive 4.06 trillion naira for projects such as Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway and the Sokoto-Badagry Highway. The president also announced significant allocation for education and health. Education will receive 3.52 trillion naira, which include funding for the universal basic education and 9 new higher institutions, while the health sector will get 2.48 trillion naira to improve healthcare services and provide essential drugs for public hospitals. He emphasized the need to empower young Nigerians and improve access to quality healthcare as part of his administration human capital development strategy. President Tinubu noted that the government expected 34.8 trillion naira in revenue for 2025, leaving a deficit of 13.39 trillion naira, representing 3.89% of the Nigerian gross domestic product (GDP). He explained further that the deficits will be financed by borrowing, stressing that this approach is necessary to achieve the government developmental goals. The budget is based on key economic assumptions, including a projected decline in inflation from 34.6% to 15% and an improvement in the naira exchange rate. from 1,700 naira per dollar to 1,500 naira per dollar. The administration also expects oil production to reach 2.0 million barrels per day, driven by the increased export capacity and reduced upstream costs. Reflecting on the economic achievement, Tinubu highlighted that Nigerian GDP grew by 3.46% in the third quarter of 2024 compared to 2.54% in the same period of 2023. He added that the foreign reserve now stands at $42 billion, providing a buffer against external shock, while the trade surplus has risen to 5.8 trillion, indicating the positive impacts of export growth. The president acknowledged the challenges facing the economy, including inflation and insecurity, but he assured Nigerians that the reform undertaken by his administration were beginning to yield results. He expressed optimism that sacrifice made during the reform process will pave the way for the long-term economic stability and growth. President Tinubu described the 2025 budget as a continuation of his administration efforts to rebuild the economy and foster inclusive growth. He emphasized the importance of enhancing national security, revitalizing infrastructure, and investing in agriculture to achieve food security and reduce hunger. He also reiterated his administration commitment to supporting the private sector as a key driver of the economic transformation. In his closing remark, President Tinubu called for collective actions to address the country's challenges, urging Nigeria to support the government's efforts to secure peace and rebuild prosperity. The Director General Budget Office of the Federation, Taminu Yakubu, described the budget as a bold response to Nigerian pressing challenges designed to restore stability and rebuild trust in governance. For more details on the news, you can visit the Punch newspaper. Federal government plans 13 trillion naira loan as Tinubu presents 49.7 trillion naira 2025 budget. Ibadan Farm Fair tragedy. Oni ex-wife order phase probe as 32 children fear killed. The Oyo State Police Command says it is investigating the circumstances surrounding the alleged deaths of 32 children during a stampede at the farm fair in Ibadan, the state capital, yesterday. Newsmen gathered from the multiple eyewitness accounts that stampede occurred when participants rushed to gain access to the venue of the event reportedly organized by the ex-queen of Oyo State, Prophetess Naomi Shikemi, and an Ibadan-based broadcaster, Oriyomi Hamzat. Investigation by newsmen also shown that the victim was stampeded to death while trying to break through the main gates of the school. It was gathered that provisions was made for 5,000 children, but the numbers that turned up for the event was reportedly over 7,500. Narrating the scenario in a video, an eyewitness at the scene of the incident, who did not mention her name, noted that the organizer had invited 5,000 participants for the fun fair, but the situation got out of control when the scene became rowdy, leading to a stampede that led to several casualties. She said Oriyomi Hamzat said he wanted 5,000 participants, but because we were not organized, that is why the situation got to this. We were not even up to 5,000 participants. Another participant claimed he lost a child during the incident. The video shown rowdy scenes as some children were rushed out of the venue, while a woman wailed about the loss of her child following the stampede. Reacting to the incident, the management of Agidigbo FM owned by Oriyomi Hamzat, sympathized with the victim in a statement signed by Director of Program Olayinka Abdul Wahab. Abdul Wahab, however, stressed that the radio station was a media partner to the event and not the organizer of the fun fair. He stressed that the management made frantic efforts to sensitize the participants when it realized that the venue was crowded. Abdul Wahab stated, and I quote, "This is to inform the general public that the management of Agidigbo FM Ibadan received the news of the tragedy that eroded the children fun fair at the Islamic High School Bashoru Ibadan, organized by the Wings Foundation, with a great shock and wholeheartedly commensurate with the family involved." When contacted via the text message for a reaction, the spokesperson for the Oyo State Police Commander Adewale Oshifesho confirmed the incident, noting that investigation had commenced. Multiple sources told newsmen that some of the children, including their parents, were said to have kept vigil at the venue of the event. For more details on the news, you can visit the Punch newspaper. Ibadan Fun Fair tragedy. Oni ex-wife order phase probe as 32 children fair killed. Federal government plans to improve power supply with $750 million World Bank loan. Buoyed by $750 million loan from the World Bank and the ongoing challenges in the achieving steady power supply from the national grid, the federal government has shifted focus to the renewable energy sector to boost supply to education, health, agriculture, rural communities, and transportation sectors. With about 80 million Nigerians estimated to be without electricity supply, the government said the e-Earth project aimed to deploy mini-grid to solve the energy access problems in rural communities, thereby creating sustainable economics and reducing rural-urban drift in Nigeria. The government, as part of this strategy, has also earmarked another $700 million from the African Development Bank (AFDP) to fund the Desert to Power project, which seeks to enhance the abundant sunlight in the northern region of the country to generate renewable energy for communities. Speaking at the stakeholder engagement workshop organized by Rural Electrification Agency, the Minister of Power Adelabu Adebayo said off-grid electricity supply had become a key component of the government plan to bridge the electricity supply gap. Adelabu, who was represented by the Director of Renewable and Rural Power Access, Dr. Sunday Owolabi, expressed optimism that the various projects in the renewable energy sector will impact at least 30 million Nigeria. Also speaking, the Managing Director and CEO, Rural Electrification Engineer Abba Aliyu, noted that the Rural Electrification Fund had deployed 124 mini-grid and 25,180 solar home subsystems with a combined capacity of 16.6 megawatts. It disclosed that 195,198 connections had been made with 183 communities and 12 markets among the beneficiaries. Aliyu said the project would provide uninterrupted supply to 3,700 primary health care centers, 25 schools per state, and FCT, 25 communities in each state, and FCT and solar-powered tricycles and charging stations across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. He urged the sub-national government and private sector to key into several programs of the federal government to ensure the provision of sustainable and quality power supply to Nigerians. For more details on the news, you can visit the Vanguard newspaper. Federal government plans to improve power supply with $750 million World Bank loan. Before we bring the newspaper review to a close, these are the headlines again. Federal government plans 13 trillion naira loan as Tinubu presents 49.7 trillion naira 2025 budget. Federal government plans to improve power supply with $750 million World Bank loan. Landing cost of petrol drops to naira per litre, says marketers. Ibadan Farm Fair tragedy. Oni ex-wife order face probe as 32 children fair killed. Ensure passport issuance within 6 weeks, court orders interior ministers and Nigerian Immigration Service. And that ends the newspaper review on Carnival Radio, your enjoyment unlimited station. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Ibrahim Adebayo. You can continue listening to the station via www.carnivalmedia.ng. You can also download the Carnival Media app from the Google Play Store and iOS App Store. Do enjoy the rest of your day.